contest. First, the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Bremen Lions. Starting tonight at one guard, a 5'9" senior, number 20, Trey Pogo. And another guard, a 5'7" junior, number 24, Zach Burkholder. And forward, a 6'2" senior, number 22.
We are live here at Penn High School for an NIC matchup between the Bremen Lions and the home team on the scoreboard, Penn Kingsman. I'm here, Tyler Miller with Reese Jakowiak. Let's get starters real quick for Bremen. Bremen is coached by head coach Jerry Smith. Grant Klockow will be starting for the Bremen Lions. Matt Box, the leading scorer for the Lions, will also start. Zach Burkholder, a 5'7" junior guard. Chandler Schneider, a 6'1" forward, senior. And Jacob Striller, a 6'2" forward. Reese, let's get the starting lineup for the Kingsmen.
And the Kingsmen are coached by Al Rhodes. Starting at guard, freshman Drew Lutz. Starting at other guard, senior Brian Dozlak. Starting at forward, sophomore Noah Applegate. Starting at forward, senior Matt McCown. And to round it off, starting at another forward, Connor Schneider.
Penn is 8-8 on the season, 5-3 on the NIC. Coming off a tough loss against Riley, played very good. Noah Applegate had a career-high 33 points. The Bremen Lions, on the other hand, are 3 games under 500 at 7-10. But the key to this, I think, is 2-6 in the NIC. That's not going to do it in the NIC. Bremen just beat Clay, though, so they have a little momentum coming to this game. Reese, before tip, let's get some keys to the game.
Well, I think for the keys for Bremen are limiting the turnovers. And Penn likes to use their defense to create offense, so I think if Bremen doesn't turn the ball over, take smart shots, and limit the three-point attempts, I think Bremen has a chance to win this game. And on the other side, I think Penn, if they continue to play like they are, control the glass, it should be a smooth sailing victory for the Kingsmen. But they also need to focus on forward Matt Box. If he gets hot, watch out. We may see an upset tonight.
Yeah, and Connor Schneider will get the matchup against Matt Box. We're almost ready for tip here at Penn High School again. Good crowd on hand for a Tuesday night game. Big NIC game for both teams, you know, trying to get to that top of the NIC. Obviously, both teams really don't have a chance of winning it. And tip is up, controlled by Penn. Brian Doslak will have the ball and bring it up court slowly. May see a slow-paced game. You know, two teams really want to slow it down.
Absolutely. Looks like Bremen's starting a 2-3 zone here.
Yep. Connor Schneider in the corner up to Brian Doslak, over to Noah Applegate. A lob into Matt McCown in the post. Gets deflected by number 42, Jacob Struller.
There's already a turnover starting for the Kingsmen.
And Matt Box will bring the ball up the court for the Bremen Lions, guarded by Connor Schneider. He's dribbling around the free throw line. Picks up his dribble over to 42, Jacob Struller. Up top to number 30, Chandler Schneider. Chandler stops his dribble over to 24, Burkholder. Burkholder goes behind his back and loses the ball, gets on the floor, and we have a travel on Burkholder.
So there we go, 2 turnovers to start out the game. Looks like they're playing a little sloppy. Both teams need to focus in and continue to play how they usually do.
Penn wins on the ball in front of their bench into Brian Doslak, who dribbles the ball up past half court. Over to Noah Applegate. In the corner to Connor Schneider. Penn runs their play into Noah Applegate, over to Brian Doslak for 3, off. Connor Schneider with a big rebound, put back on the left side and up and good.
Very strong take by the senior forward.
Number 24, Burkholder, will bring the ball up the court over to number 20, Klockow. A little bit of pressure by Drew Lutz. And we have a foul on Drew Lutz as he's riding him up the court.
Looks like they're extending their defense to start out the game, maybe try to create some turnovers. Speed up Bremen.
Rhodes not happy with the call. Thought it was good defense by Drew Lutz. Matt Box will inbound the ball for the Lions. Into Schneider. Schneider will have it one-on-one with Applegate up top at the top of the key. Over to Burkholder. Burkholder crossover, go left side. Matt Box cuts the basket, guarded by Connor, puts it up, misses. Schneider with the rebound. Over to Brian Doslak. Brian Doslak will dribble past half court, left side to Noah Applegate. Skip pass to Drew Lutz on the right side of the court. And the Penn will slow things down with Brian Doslak running a play up at the half-court line.
And Bremen sits back in that 2-3 zone.
Brian Doslak picks up his dribble, passes right side to Connor Schneider in the corner, up top to Noah Applegate. Applegate to the corner for Doslak. Doslak for 3, got it. Corner 3 by Brian Doslak. Penn is up to a 5-0 lead, just 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah, it looks like they're looks like Bremen needs to figure out a different defense besides that 2-3 zone. They can't just sit back and let him shoot that 3 ball all night.
Drew Lutz again with the pressure on Klockow. Makes him pick up his dribble. Passes it over to Streller. One-on-one with Matt McCown over to Matt Box. They set a screen, and we have a travel on Matt Box. Good defense by Connor Schneider off the screen.
2 turnovers for the Bremen Lions already. Started out this game with only still over 5 minutes left in the first quarter.
Brian Dosak will dribble up the court, no pressure. Bremen still in that 2-3 zone. Passes right side to Drew Lutz. Drew Lutz passes in the corner to Connor Schneider. Into Matt McCown on the right side post. Matt fades away, misses. Fight for the rebound. Drew Lutz comes up with the rebound on the right side. Passes over to Noah Applegate on the left wing. Picks up his dribble. Up top to Brian Doslak. Right side, Drew Lutz for 3. Got it.
Yep, there it is. That wide open 3 again with that 2-3 zone. They're really sitting back and not really contesting the 3-point shots.
Penn is up to an 8-0 lead on the Bremen Lions with 5 minutes left in the first quarter. A little bit of pressure again by Brian Doslak. On Burkholder, Brian Doslak into the scores table fighting for a loose ball, and it'll be Bremen ball.
Good hustle by the senior guard.
And we have a first timeout on the court.
Yeah.
Bremen, 30-second timeout. What have you noticed so far, Reese? Penn is up to an 8-0 lead with 4:58 left in the first quarter.
Well, it looks like Penn's doing pretty smoothly on the offensive side. They got some open threes and hit them. And I really think Bremen needs to come out and extend that 2-3 zone, maybe go into man-to-man, switch something up. They need to change something. Already up 8 points with just 5 minutes left. And then Bremen, on the other hand, I think they really need to settle down. A couple early turnovers. I think Penn just rushing them a lot. And
I think they've taken 1 shot in 3 minutes. Bremen.
Yeah.
Matt Box may be able to have the only shot on the court right now.
Looks like
couple turnovers for Bremen. Both teams come out of the timeout. It'll be Bremen's ball right in front of our scores table here. Matt Box will inbound the ball. Penn is again up to an 8-0 lead with 4:58. We had a timeout on the court. Matt Box will inbound the ball. A little bit of pressure by Noah Applegate. He gets it in to number 30, Schneider. Steal by Brian Doslak. Passes it up to Noah Applegate. Noah Applegate picks up his dribble on the right wing. Connor Schneider down low on the left side block. Puts it up, misses. Matt McCown with the rebound putback. And they call it over the back foul on Matt McCown.
Well, even though that was a bad over and back play, I think I'm still not impressed at all with Bremen's offensive game. That's 3 turnovers already. I really think they need to change something up immediately if they want to hang in this game.
Connor Schneider got the position down low, just wasn't able to do anything with it. Bremen will bring the ball up the court. We did have a substitution, Codwell in for Bremen. Maybe get a little more guard play in there. Number 20 has the ball right now. Clock out up top to number 30, Schneider. Number 20 now, Clockout has it, up to number 30 for 3, misses. Big rebound by Matt McCown, all alone, gets it to Brian Doslak. Brian Doslak dribbles over the half-court line. Right side to Drew Lutz. Drew Lutz, corner 3, put it up, count it.
Yeah, there's another 3 ball for the Kingsmen. I think they really, now it's 11-0. They really need to start extending out their defense, maybe try to take the ball, try to take it by them.
4 minutes left here in the first quarter. Penn is out to an 11-0 lead. Brian Doslak with a lot of pressure on defense, really getting into this Bremen offensive mindset. Number 34, Codwell, has the ball right now. Passes it up to Streller. Streller up top into the big man down low. Tries back down Matt McCown. Pass it up to Codwell, again guarded by Brian Doslak. Can't do anything. Dribbles up the left side. Brian Doslak pokes it loose. Goes out of bounds. It'll be Bremen possession.
That tough and aggressive defense from Brian Doslak is really troubling the Bremen guards.
Schneider will take the ball out of bounds for Bremen, right on the left side of the basket. Gets it into Matt Box. Matt Box again guarded by Connor Schneider. Really nothing. Schneider for 3. Count it. Corner 3, guarded. No, Applegate just couldn't get out in there in time. It is now 11-3 with 3:27 left in the first quarter. Brian Doslak dribbles it up. Bremen still in that 2-3 lone. Passes over to Drew Lutz on the right side. Brian Doslak in the corner into Noah Applegate on the left post. Applegate fades away. Got it.
Too easy. Too easy. They really need to get a hand up in his face right there. Pretty makes it 9 times out of 10.
And Applegate coming off his career high 35 points against South Bend Riley really looks, wants to make a statement here against Bremen too. Brian Doslak still with the pressure on Codwell over to Schneider guarded by Applegate. Connor Schneider is actually face guarding Matt Box.
Yeah,
and we have a foul on Matt McCown as they try to enter the ball into the post. They tried to get the ball to Feldman, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like Connor Schneider's really working hard, not letting Matt Box catch the ball, as he knows he's their leading scorer and pretty much the heart and soul of this Bremen team.
And with 2 fouls, Matt McCown would go to the bench, and Noah Cruffo will be coming in for Penn. Bremen inbounds the ball, gets it up to Codwell. Codwell cannot hold the ball. Brian Doslak with the pressure. Brian Doslak gets a steal on the right side, one-on-one with, gets it over to Applegate on the left side, gets blocked by number 22, Matt Box, but they call a foul, and Applegate finishes the play, and one play, chance for a free throw.
Yeah, another turnover by the Bremen Lions. It's the 4th turnover of the game, and I think that's Brian Doslak's 2nd steal of this game as well. That aggressive defense is really helping out Penn.
Penn is out to a 15-3 lead with 2:44 left in the first quarter, and Noah Applegate will be at the line for 1. Noah Applegate is a sophomore. He's averaging 15.6 points a game and 7.1 rebounds a game. Again, coming off his career high against Riley, really looks to play big these last couple games.
Yeah, very impressive showcase for
his free throw
sophomore.
Is off the front of the rim, and Bremen controls the rebound. Burkholder will bring the ball up the court for Bremen. He's a junior guard over Schneider. Schneider dribbles it in, gets blocked by Noah Applegate there, and Penn looks to run right side. Drew Lutz puts it up on the right side and gets it. Penn looked to run right after they got the rebound. 17-3 now with 2:20 left in the first quarter. Bremen will still look to slow things down. Burkholder just gets the ball over the half-court line, again guarded by Brian Doslak. Number 40 into the game for Bremen, Burks Feldman. And Schneider takes a deep 3 for Bremen and hits it. He's their only scorer right now. They can't get the ball to Matt Box, and he has 6 points.
Absolutely. Look at his 3-point strokes looking pretty smooth.
Noah Applegate for 3 on the left side, misses. Rebound by Bremen's number 24, Burkholder. Burkholder tries taking Brian Doslak one-on-one, can't get anything, pulls it out, passes it out to number 12. 12 back over to Burkholder for 3. Off the left side of the rim, and Drew Lutz controls the rebound for Penn. Up to Brian Doslak on the right side. Skip passes over to Noah Applegate on the left side. Up top to Brian Doslak. Brian Doslak, top of the 3-corner. Got it.
Wow, team's going to start out hot from the 3-point line.
We have a 20-6 score with 1:28 left in the first quarter, and Bremen calls their second timeout of the quarter. What's happening so far, Reese?
Well, it looks like Bremen can't slow down their offense. I really think they need to keep extending their defense out and figure out a way to slow down those 3-point attempts by the Kingsmen. And then on the other side, Penn right now is looking pretty good. Their defense is looking great. Looks very aggressive, and their offense is even looking even better. Looks like it's so far. It looks like the last year's game is Penn beat Bremen 76-39 last year. Looks like a tale of the same story here in this year.
Yeah, Bremen really having some trouble scoring the ball. Only points right now scored by 6'1" forward senior Chandler Schneider has 2 threes. Matt Box has got 1 shot up. Connor Schneider playing really good D so far.
Yeah, solid defense from Connor Schneider over there. Really aggressive, face guarding him, not letting him catch the ball. Really looks like it's aggravating Matt Box a little bit. I think Bremen needs to figure out a way to loosen him up, maybe get some picks, have him come out there and get him into the game a little bit more.
Yeah. So Penn, looking ahead real quick, Penn is again 8-8, really looking to get over the 500. They've been, over 500. They've been under 500. Have some really good games, some really bad games. What I've noticed so far is they have been really playing to the level of their competition, and I think today they really, so far, it's 20-6. They've been playing above the competition level,
Absolutely.
So Bremen has the ball right now on the top of the key, passes it over. Again, dribbling at the top of the key is Ginter for Bremen. Connor Schneider is still on Matt Box. Bo Ludwig with a good hustle. Fights for the ball out of bounds, and it'll be Bremen ball. Schneider will inbound the ball for Bremen. Again, Schneider, their only scorer, has 6 points. It is 20-6 with 1:13 left in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Ref warns Bo Ludwig that he's, getting a little bit into the inbounder. But he does get it into Burkholder. Burkholder one-on-one with Brian Doslak, drives right side, puts up a layup, misses, but we have a foul on the play.
Strong take by that the guard from Bremen, number 24.
After getting pressured by Brian Doslak all game, maybe, he's trying to get his number, get him into foul trouble, get him off of him. That foul is on Brian Doslak, and Burkholder will be going for the line for 2.
Absolutely. Yeah, as Bo Ludwig enters the game, that just adds another 3-point shooter for Penn. A plethora of 3-point shooters on the court right now for Penn.
Yes. Burkholder's first free throw is up and good. We have 20-7 score right now. Finally got another scorer other than Schneider out there. Burkholder's second free throw is up and off the front of the rim. Bo Ludwig with a rebound, passes over to Brian Doslak, and Brian will slow things down with 1 minute left here in the first period. Bremen looks to go man-to-man, see if they can fix something real quick. Brian Doslak one-on-one with his man. Pitt gets it into Cruffwell in the middle of the paint, puts up a shot, misses. Connor Schneider gets a rebound, throws it up to Drew Lutz. Drew Lutz has some trouble with it, and we have a foul on Bremen.
Looks like on that rebound from Connor Schneider, he might have stepped out of bounds. I think a ref missed that call.
We have a foul on number 24, Burkholder. That's his first foul. Drew Lutz will inbound the ball with 46.3 seconds left. Gets it into Brian Doslak right at the volleyball line. No defender up near him, so he holds the ball a little bit, dribbles left side. Still on the left side of the court, dribbles around up top to Drew Lutz. Drew Lutz now at the top of the key, guarded by Burkholder. Gets it up to Bo Ludwig at the top of the key. Penn may be looking for one shot here. Bo Ludwig, it's guarded by Schneider. Gets it up to Drew Lutz.
Looks like they're just taking their time looking for a good shot to close out this quarter.
Drew Lutz dribbles around the three-point line, gets into maybe a little bit of double trap, but gets out of it. Brian Doslak now at it. 10 seconds left here in the first period. Brian Doslak one-on-one with his man, backs him down, gets it into Cruffwell in the middle of the paint, puts it up, misses it. Drew Lutz gets a rebound, puts it up, misses it. Connor Schneider with the rebound, got it.
And the foul.
And we have a foul on the play. No bucket. The bucket will not count. The ref comes over. It's talked to our scores table. Looks like he's going to call a foul on Connor Schneider on the rebound. He got the rebound right over the guy. Don't know what the call is there.
I guess he pushed off of him when he went up for that rebound. Maybe it will push in the back.
So it is 20-7 here at the end of the first period. Again, to recap what happened at the end of the period, Drew Lutz missed the layup. Connor Schneider grabbed the rebound and put it up and missed it, but they did call a foul.
Yeah, it looks like it was a pretty strong performance from Penn, but also Bremen did score a few points there to finish off the quarter. I mean, maybe they can take some positivity off of that, gain some momentum, and maybe make a little run in this game.
Yep. End of the first quarter, again, 20-7. As the Pennant podcast of the Penn Kingsmen boys basketball game. I'm Tyler Miller here with Reese Jakowiak.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure's mine.
Well, it looks like last year Penn defeated Bremen by a margin of 76-39. It was the first time we actually played Bremen since 1983, and in that game in 1983, we actually lost to Bremen by 3 points. And
Penn comes off their timeout. Really, they look energized and they look kind of happy. You know, they're all laughing. I think they're enjoying themselves out here. You know, it's one of those things where sometimes you play these teams and they may call it a trap game. Penn plays Elkhart Central on Thursday night. You know, second team in the NIC right now, right behind Riley. It's going to be a huge game, but they're coming out here and they're not taking Bremen lightly. You know, they're really going to go at them as Bremen has the ball to start the second quarter. Burkholder will bring the ball up the court for Bremen on the right side. Gets a screen by Matt Box, takes it in. Strong take by Burkholder as he'll get fouled. We had a screen by Matt Box, and Penn just looked confused on it.
Yeah, it looks like after he got the ball stolen from a couple times at the beginning of the game, it really looks like he's taking the ball hard to the rim.
That is foul is on Drew Lutz. Burkholder's first free throw is up and off. Drew Lutz has a second foul, and we have a substitution for Penn. Applegate will come in for Drew Lutz. Strong performance by Drew Lutz so far. Hit a couple threes, come in off the game, off that Bremen zone. Burkholder is 1 for 3 right now on free throws. This could be key. His second free throw of the possession, up and good. And Brian Doslak will have the ball, dribbling it up. Over to Noah Applegate. Noah Applegate puts it up and in. 22-8, Penn has a lead on Bremen. Bremen has the ball at the top of the key, dribbles in strong right side over to Burkholder. Burkholder dribbles left, puts it up a layup, misses. Brian Doslak gets the rebound, passes it over to Bo Ludwig. Bo Ludwig takes it right side, strong, and we have a charge call on Bo Ludwig. Schneider takes the charge for Bremen.
Yeah, it was a great call by the ref. I really think he planted his feet and really took that charge.
Player control foul, charge number 21, Bo Ludwig of Penn. That's his first, team 7.
Bremen will have the ball out of bounds.
As number 24 dribbles the ball up the court.
Bremen has the ball on the right side, gets into Matt Box. Matt Box cannot handle it, and it'll be Bremen ball. Good defense by Brian Doslak.
Yeah, Matt Box is starting off pretty quiet this game so far.
Hasn't done anything, put up a couple shots, gets the screen, set the screen for a score on Bremen's, one of only Bremen's points. Bremen does get it into tries to get it into Matt Box, and Matt Box cannot control it. Out of bounds again, though. Penn deflected it.
Yeah, tough defense from Connor Schneider right now. Very tough and aggressive defense against Matt Box.
And Connor Schneider always gets a tough call against the best player for, the opponent's team. Bremen does get it into the right block, gets it up to Schneider. Schneider puts up another three. Off. Fight for the rebound. Connor Schneider tips it off of Bremen, and it'll be Penn basketball.
Yeah, it was a smooth stroke by senior guard Schneider from Bremen. Looks like he's got a pretty good three ball, and hopefully he continues that.
Penn has the ball on the left side. Brian Dosek drives past his defender, gets on the baseline, passes it in to Noah Crosswell. Noah Crosswell puts up a jumper in the middle of the paint, banks it in. 24-8. Penn is up on Bremen with 6:45 left in the second quarter. Bremen looks to up-tempo, dribbles up top, passes it over to their guard. Brian Dosek intercepts the pass, drives right side, puts up a layup, got it.
Third steal for Brian Dosek tonight.
26-8 Penn with 6:30 left. Brian Dosek gets the credit for the last point, steal.
Stealing the bucket.
He is really holding his against Burkholder. Burkholder has not been able to get much on Brian Dosek today. Schneider has been one of their only threats, and he has the ball right now, guarded by Noah Applegate. Takes it in the paint, spin around, misses the front of the rim. 21, Bo Ludwig with the rebound over to Applegate. Applegate drives left side, jump stops, gets a shot blocked by Schneider, and Bremen controls the rebound. Burkholder will bring the ball up the court for Bremen, guarded by Noah Applegate. Slows things down, passes it over to Schneider. Schneider is guarded by Brian Dosek. Up to Feldman. Feldman at the top of the key. Tries to get to Matt Box. Matt Box is being face guarded by Connor Schneider, but he does get it to their Schneider, and Schneider takes it in, and we have a charging call on Schneider. Schneider's a little bit bigger than Dosek and just goes into him and lowers his shoulder and gets the charge.
Yeah, great play by Brian Dosek taking that charge for them. I think Schneider went in there and a little reckless, a little too physical.
Saw that he had the smaller defender on him, tried to take advantage of it, but just couldn't control himself. Brian Dosek will dribble up the court for Penn. It is 26-8 in the 5:40 mark in the second period. Brian Dosek one-on-one with his defender. Crosses him over, gets it to Noah Applegate at the free throw line. Applegate one-on-one with his defender. Matt Box fades away misses badly. Hustle for the rebound. Brian Dosek slaps it, but gets it over to Matt Box. Matt Box has it up to 54. And Cole George with the points. Good assist by Matt Box.
Very unselfish play by Matt Box.
Matt Box saw the defenders coming to him, both defenders coming to him, and dipped it off to his big man down low. Connor Schneider puts up a shot and gets it blocked from behind. It'll be Penn ball underneath the basket. Connor Schneider really didn't see the defender behind him. Brian Dosek will inbound the ball on the right side of the basket. Penn will run its inbounds play. Can't find really anything. Gets it up to Bo Ludwig. Lazy pass by Dosek, but Bo Ludwig does get it. Passes it inside to Noah Crosswell. Crosswell does a reverse right-handed layup, finishes it. 28-10, Penn has a lead on Bremen with 5 minutes left in the second period. Burkholder again dribbles up the court for Bremen. And we have a kickball on Bo Ludwig.
Yeah, it was a pretty impressive play down there. Turned a little broken play into an easy basket for the Kingsmen.
And again, that's something, 28-10 right now. Penn really doesn't look to be letting up, though. They're keeping that tempo, getting what they can, but not forcing anything. Matt Box will inbound the ball, again face guarded by Connor Schneider.
It's all over him tonight.
He does get it into Burkholder, though. Burkholder drives baseline, gets stopped by Brian Dosek, has nowhere to go. Gets it up to Sterling at the left side of the wing. Gets it over to Matt Box. Matt Box drives in, puts up a shot, misses. No Applegate with a rebound. That was probably Matt Box's only second or third shot, but it was a good shot by Matt Box. Didn't force it really, but just missed it. No Applegate on the other end, puts up a jumper and mixes it. And Bremen controls the rebound. Burkholder dribbles up the court. Brian Dosek picks him up, drives left side, puts it up, got it. Brian Dosek looked a little lost, didn't know where he was, didn't pick him up till about the free throw line, and then he had his one step on him and gets a left-handed layup.
Yeah, nice strong take by Burkholder.
Brian Dosek is up, guarded by Sterling. Pass it over to Bo Ludwig, wing three, misses. George with the rebound for Bremen. Gets it to his point guard, Burkholder. And Burkholder, a junior guard, will dribble up the court, guarded by Brian Dosek. Burkholder gets it at the top of the key, passes it over to Cole George. Cole George at the top of the key, guarded by Applegate. Gets it to Matt Box at the top, dribbles, backs it in. A little bit of a double team, but leaves a corner three open, misses it. Gets a rebound. Sterling gets his own rebound. Matt Box at the top of the key, face guarded by Connor Schneider. George over. Matt Box, corner three, misses badly. And it'll be Bremen basketball, though, as Bo Ludwig as it came off the rim. Checking in for Penn is number 45, Riley Smith.
Yeah, looks like coming off the knee injury. Looks like his first game back in a few games now. I mean, I'm really interested to see how he does.
Riley Smith, he's a hustle player is what they put him in for. You know, put him in for a little bit of fouls. He will foul. But overall, a good basketball player. As they inbound the ball, try to get to Matt Box. Connor Schneider takes the ball away from Matt Box, tries to lead a one-man fast break with 3 defenders on him, gets a little bit too happy he got the steal, and dribbles it off his leg for a turnover.
Yeah, I think he just was looking to shoot before he dribbled the ball in that time and accidentally dribbled it right off his foot and out of bounds.
Burkholder will bring the ball up for Penn over to Matt Box. Schneider talking to Matt Box, it looks like. Pass it over to Burkholder. Burkholder at the top of the key over to Cole George. Cole George up top to Burkholder. Over to Matt Box. Matt Box drives baseline. Gets deflected by Connor Schneider. Connor Schneider gets it up to Bo Ludwig. Bo Ludwig, left side. We have a jump ball. Possession arrow goes to Penn. A little bit of a sloppy play right now.
Yeah, it looks like they've taken a foot off the gas a little bit the past few minutes.
Right under the 3-minute mark, it is 28-12. Penn has a lead on Bremen. It'll be Penn's ball at the left side of the basket. Brian Doslak will inbound it. Penn will run its out-of-bounds play up to Noah Applegate in the middle. Applegate puts it right over his defender, misses it. Matt Box, good defense there on Applegate. Burkholder, corner three, missed it. Rebound, fought for. Bo Ludwig saves it, gets it into Riley Smith, and Riley Smith passes it over to Brian Doslak, and Brian Doslak will slow things down at the 2:30 mark. 28-12, Penn has a lead. Brian Doslak one-on-one with his defender up top to Bo Ludwig. Bo Ludwig at the top of the key, guarded by Burkholder. Drives right past him, puts up a shot in the middle of the lane, misses it, but gets fouled.
Yeah, a strong take by sophomore guard Bo Ludwig. A little pump fake and go and take the ball to the hole.
Bo Ludwig will be at the line. 2:22 left in the second quarter. Bo Ludwig's first free throw is up and off. We have a couple of substitutions. Bremen brings in 2 players, and Drew Schneider will be checking in for Bo Ludwig if he hits this free throw. Penn still has some 3-point threats out there with Brian Doslak and Bo Ludwig and maybe Noah Applegate every once in a while, but they took Drew Lutz out with foul trouble. His second free throw is up and no good, misses 2 free throws. Matt Box has the ball, dribbling up the court, guarded by Connor Schneider still. Clock out is in for Bremen. Gets it over to Matt Box, up top to Codwell. Codwell guarded by Bo Ludwig up to Schneider. Schneider at the top of the key. Matt Box comes off the screen, puts it up, misses it. Has not found his role yet. And no. Brian Doslak has the ball, gets it over to Noah Applegate on the left side, guarded by Matt Box. Matt Box, a little bit of, and we have a charging call on Noah Applegate. Questionable call. Al Rhodes is not happy with that.
Yeah, very interesting call. That was still a good play on defense, but good defensive play by Matt Box. But on the other hand, Matt Box was looking quite flustered.
Yeah, on the offensive end for sure. Connor Schneider is full court pressing Matt Box. Penn is looking at a half-court trap maybe. And we have a substitution for Penn. Noah Applegate sits down, and in for Penn is Stuart Feely, a senior. What about Stuart?
I just love how he plays. He plays aggressive, hard, and we'll see what he does.
Doesn't see the court much. He is a first-year varsity player, senior. Played tennis for 3 years and then had a back injury. Couldn't play tennis anymore, but a good basketball player, and decides to try out for the team. Again, really doesn't see any minutes, but when he gets in there, he does hustle. And Bremen has the ball out of bounds underneath the basket. Gets it into George. George puts up a left-handed layup on the right side and gets it in. It is 28-14 with 1:25 left in the second quarter, right before halftime. I think the substitution by Penn was just to get Noah Applegate not on the defense so he didn't get any more fouls. Because he has one foul on that charging, but it was one of those things where I think they just put Stewart in for defense, just so he make sure Applegate doesn't foul. Because Applegate right now is checking into the scores table for the next dead ball. Stewart Feely, though, is guarded by Bremen's best player, Matt Box. Gets it over to Drew Schneider at the top of the key. Drew Schneider spins off his defender. Matt Box tips the ball. We have a steal. We have a tip by Matt Box. Stewart Feely has a wide open three, doesn't take it. Brian Doslak at the top. Penn will slow things down for one shot.
Yeah, it looks like Stewart Feely passed up an open three ball there to maybe get a better shot.
Yeah, Stewart Feely now has the ball at the top of the key. Dribbles right side wing. Gets it up to Brian Doslak. Brian Doslak has it up the top half court. 35 seconds left before halftime. Penn 28, Bremen 14. Gets it over to Drew Schneider on the right wing. Up to Brian Doslak. Up to Stu Feely. Stu Feely has it at the top. Stewart Feely has passed it over to Brian Doslak with 15 seconds left. Brian Doslak will slow things down at the half-court line. Penn looking to one shot. Bremen goes to 2-3 zone. Drew Schneider on the right wing. Corner, Connor Schneider. Gets it into Riley Smith at the block, wide open. Riley Smith gets it up in 2 with 3 seconds left. Bremen gets a shot up. Does not get a shot off in time, though. What a good play by Penn. Connor Schneider gets the ball in the corner. 2 defenders collapse on him. Tosses it into Riley Smith at the right block and puts up an easy layup. We're at halftime here. It is 30-14. What have you seen so far from the first half?
Well, I've seen a terrible defensive performance by Bremen so far. I really think they need to figure out something for the second half. They want to stay in this game. I think that right now, wait, what?
It is halftime here. What do we have for halftime today, Reese?
We have an interview with our very own Parker Atkins and Aaron Linsky.
Let's take a listen to that real quick.
All right, here with the athletic director of Penn High School, Aaron Linsky, talking today about the future of Penn athletics and Penn sports all around. So, Mr. Linsky, what do you have for the future of Penn athletics?
Well, hopefully we're going to continue giving kids great experiences, providing opportunities for our community to come out and see extremely competitive teams, and ultimately we want to win championships, both at the local level and statewide.
Speaking of championships, last year Penn won 16 of 19 sectionals. So what makes us so successful here?
Well, I tell you, last year was a special year, and you have those years that you have outstanding classes that come through where the talent level is higher than some other years. And as coaches, we also work with our kids and try to maximize their potential. So, as we move forward, each year we know that being at Penn High School, we're going to have a target on our back, and our kids work extremely hard in the off season. They don't take anything for granted, whether we're playing a school that we should beat in the eyes of our many fans, or we're playing someone that is of high caliber that has won many state championships. We take them all seriously. We plan, we execute. Our kids practice extremely hard. They put a lot of time into the off season. And so what we're looking for is to continue that trend, and it's not enough just to outwork your opponents. I think that looking at sports in general, across the board, as we look at the last 20 years, teams are doing the things in the off season, across the board. And so we've got to look at being better, and it really starts, I think, in the weight room.
Absolutely. And speaking of the weight room, this past summer we hired Coach Matt Cates, a lifting coach. What do you think he brings to the Penn athletic program?
Well, I tell you, we're probably at least a decade, if not 2 decades behind from providing someone that's solely dedicated to working with all student athletes. Our coaches have done a phenomenal job working with, the kids in the weight room, but our coaches are experts in their sports, and we really wanted to bring someone in that could allow the coaches to focus on the coaching side, and we wanted to bring someone in who could concentrate on the sports performance side. And I think that Coach Cates has done an outstanding job implementing the program. We've got some exciting things that we're looking to continue to do, and as the program evolves, I think that our sports will certainly reap rewards.
Absolutely. And for those who don't know, the weight room is already shifting and changing around. But the big question is, I think, for a lot of the public is plans for future facilities. Do you have any future facilities or priorities in mind, or upgrading facilities or any of that?
So we're always looking to improve our facilities, and that goes in really twofold. We're looking at the facility themselves and their playability for the participants, and we're also looking to improve fan participation and their experience from the stands. So we've got some plans, and of course, it's like anybody else. I've got a Christmas list, and we've got some big ideas. And having those come true is not always going to be easy. We've got to look at funding sources, and ultimately we're dedicated at PHM to students first, and so we're looking to improve those experiences in the classroom, and hopefully then we're able to realize some finances to continue to improve the facilities.
Absolutely. And then one of the final questions that a lot of people have been asking over the years with the dominance of Penn football in the conference is, do you believe the NIC is a good fit for Penn football, or should they be a sport to come independent?
Sure. And as a former football player, I think that we look at it several ways.
Absolutely.
And so I believe that the Northern Indiana Conference is actually extremely competitive. When you look from top to bottom, what we've done, it's also the most diverse conference in the state of Indiana. We've got the most schools. We're the largest conference in the state. And so we've got teams that range from 2A all the way to 6A. And so when you look at how those teams are doing within their respective classes, it's very well representative of this area in football in general. You look at what Marion's done, Jimtown historically, Mishawaka, St. Joe, Washington, all of them have been in the state finals. And so, from a competitive standpoint, we're able to compete with them. We like competing with our neighbors. It makes for fun conversation. Lifelong conversations. We talk about that, backyard brawl, the grocery cart game, and and so we like it because we're able to compete locally, and yet the NIC allows us, because we don't play a full conference schedule, we don't have space to play everyone. We're able to play, teams within half of the conference, and then we're also able to continue to add other opponents that we think prepare us for the road to the Lucas Oil. And that includes Brother Rice, St. Mary's. We were able to get to the region with Valparaiso and Maryville. And those are things that we anticipate continuing to evolve. And I think we'll have some opponents drop off, and we'll have new ones come on. And we like to continue to challenge ourselves.
That's great. And I think that's a lot of what the people were looking for. This is our interview with athletic director Aaron Linsky. Thank you for coming out.
Appreciate it, Patrick.
All right.
Parker Atkins also caught up with senior wrestler Jared Swank as he will be competing in semi-state.
All right, we are here with Penn wrestler senior Jared Swank, a weight class of 170. So, Jared, what has led to your success in wrestling?
That's a great question. I think I've had a really supportive group around me, especially my parents, my family. They've really given me all the opportunities I've needed to succeed. Going to a great school like Penn, we've had great coaches and just great environment. Our room is super intense, and it just pushed me to really achieve the most I can.
Awesome. And you're speaking of how successful Penn wrestling has been. So, I mean, what has made Penn wrestling so successful these past couple of years?
I think it's for sure comes back to the coaching. We've been blessed with some great coaches. Coach Harper, he's always super positive in our corner. Coach Hirschberger, Coach Manspeaker. Even when a guy's losing, they're always just like, it's all right. Just keep pushing. In the room, they're making sure that we're pushing hard, but not too hard. And they're just making sure that even off the mat, we're doing well in our classes and in the community.
Awesome, yeah. And, I mean, you spoke of Coach Harper, and Coach Harper came here, how many years ago?
10.
About 10 years ago. And so I know you've known him for a long time. What does Coach Harper bring to the Penn wrestling program that they didn't have before?
Well, before him, it was Coach Wilk, and Coach Wilk also did a great job. Got a state runner-up, I think, in the 80s. And he still comes in our room. But Coach Harper, he brings a lot of intensity in the room. He wrestles with each one of us every day, kind of beats us up a little bit. He stays in great shape, and he really cares about us as people as well. He's always asking how we're doing, making sure we're getting good grades and doing the right things on the mat and off the mat as well. And I think that really has set us apart.
So this is your senior year. So, I mean, what about this year? Have you been training different, or what is your preparation for this year any different than other years?
Well, this year it's been a little tougher. All the years past, I've had upperclassmen around me to beat me up a little bit in practice, and this year I'm the upperclassman, so there really isn't anyone to do that. So for me, it's just kind of studying film, picking apart myself, and talking to coaches and having them pick me apart. We've been studying a lot of film and working on my weaknesses, and my attacks are there, and I just got to shore up some more attacks and make sure I can get some more, especially for the next level next year.
So, I mean, what is your goal, your final goal for this year as your senior year? What do you want to leave on this program?
Definitely, since I was 10 years old, I've had the goal to be a state champion. So that's up on my mirror. I see it every day. And then as well, I want to be ranked in the top 20 in the country. That doesn't have a lot to do with Penn, but myself as a wrestler in high school, I definitely want to achieve that before I leave, and as well as be an All-American.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you chose NC State. What made you choose NC State over some other schools?
It was kind of a long recruiting process, but what really set it apart, I think, is the academic help. When I go there, I'll have tutors and mandatory study hours, and that's just, I think it's going to be the best possible place I can go to set me up for success, especially off the mat. I mean, wrestling isn't going to pay my bills, so I'm really going to have to focus on getting good grades and getting my degree. And NC State, it's what's going to help me, especially being surrounded by a great program and great coaches and just great people.
Absolutely. And so I know you chose NC State, but did you have any other options you were considering?
Yeah. I think it was between them and University of Indianapolis. I was getting ready to go on my official visit for UIndy. I'd gone on an unofficial visit about a month before, but I decided to make my decision. It was really, that was because it was close to home, and the academic help was pretty good, but that was probably my second choice. And then there was a couple other D2s and some smaller D1s, but NC State was definitely the biggest name that recruited me, and they were actually the first school to recruit me as well, so they kind of got a head start.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, this is senior Jared Swank, wrestling in the weight class of 170. Thanks for coming out, Jared.
Thank you.
All right, we are here with Penn wrestler, senior Jared Swank, a weight class of 170. So, Jared, what has led to your success in wrestling?
That's a great question. I think I've had a really supportive group around me, especially my parents, my family. They've really given me all the opportunities I've needed to succeed. Going to a great school like Penn, we've had great coaches and just great environment.
We're back here at halftime here at the Palace. We have about 4 minutes left in the half. Right now at halftime we have some elementary schoolers doing some jump roping.
Quite impressive. I don't think you could go out there, Tyler, could you?
I really don't think I could. We're live at the Penn podcast here. I'm Tyler Miller with Reese Jakowiak. Again, great halftime show by the Penn Palms, and now by the jump ropers. We got some nice music playing. Some flips going on. I wish we could see this. I wish we could see this on TV. This is better halftime entertainment than many games, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know about you, Tyler, but I'd take this over the Super Bowl halftime show.
I would too. We have 4 jumpers jumping in the middle of a jump rope right now, and right in front of us we have a girl doing a handstand. Again, but let's take away from anything. It is Penn 30, Bremen 14 at halftime. Let's take a look at some halftime stats real quick. You know, Bremen is led by Matt Bach, supposedly. Matt Bach is 0 for 5 from the field right now, being guarded by Connor Schneider. Again, Connor, we know, is usually guarding the best defender. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think Connor Schneider's really been face guarding, really aggravating him. Looks flustered on the offensive side. And then on the Penn side, I really think that Brian Dozlak has been very well this game. He has a couple threes and a few steals as well.
Yeah, Brian Dozlak tied for leading scorer, 8 points. Drew Lutz also with 8 points. Got in some foul trouble, or else he probably would have had some more points. So we looked at some preferred halftime stats now. Penn, very top, usually in athletics. Shout out to the girls basketball team for a great season, another 20-win season. But they did take a loss to Northridge in the sectional championship. Northridge, a tough team. We broadcasted that St. Joe game where they lost, but again, it was a good fought game by both teams. Penn ended up losing to Northridge in sectionals. But again, they were a very young team as we saw, we saw the roster. It was sophomore, a couple freshmen. Again, only one senior, Lindsey Klein, on that team.
Absolutely, I really think they have a very bright future. Also, congrats to the Penn girls swim and diving team for the winning section. Great job, ladies, and good luck in regionals.
Hopefully you can hear us over this loud crowd. The jumpers get a standing ovation from the Penn crowd, even some Bremen fans standing up. And they toss some things into the stands real quick. Penn student section with about 20, 25 kids in it stands up for them. What a great performance, great halftime show.
Absolutely. Also, good luck to the Penn boys wrestling team as they won the regional championship and had a semi-state. They have 5 individual regional champions, Jared Swank, Hayden Hensley, Will Vaklahi, Cole Kavanaugh, and Evan Light. Good luck to them.
Yeah, Penn will have for sure some some placers in the state. And right now, for the halftime entertainment, what do we got, Reese?
We have my man Parker Atkins, him with the great interviews. And he goes out there to shoot a couple free throws and 3-point shots.
He made the right-handed layup, now shooting a free throw. He does have a Penn jersey on. Let's see if that helps. Free throws up and good.
2 for 2.
He has a layup and a free throw. Now he will shoot a three-pointer from the top of the key, put it up. Ooh, missed.
Just off.
And now we have a half-court shot by Parker Atkins, who just conducted our interviews on Mr. Linsky and Jared Swank. Puts up the half-court shot. Looks a little good, just off.
Yeah, strong effort from Parker.
Does not get the standing ovation that the jumpers did, though.
Yeah, a little let down there, but it's still a great effort. Looks like having fun some time.
Looks like he does get some outstanding gift cards as both teams take the court right now. We have 2 minutes left in halftime. Again, score here at halftime is 30-14. I'm Tyler Miller here with Reese Jakowiak. So before this starts, as the 2-minute buzzer goes off, what do we got to look for in the second half?
Well, I'm really looking for, the main man, the big man on campus there at Bremen, Matt Box, see what he can do in the second half, maybe to turn this game around. Maybe the coaches found a way to free him up, send a couple screens, get the ball moving around. Hopefully, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see a good game here. Maybe we'll see Matt Box have some life in him.
And Coach Rhodes comes over to the scores table and talks to the clock guy. Extended halftime, it looked like, but the athletic director came over and told him to put 2 minutes on the shot clock. And Al Rhodes is telling the scores table to add 1 minute. He wanted 3 minutes to warm up. They only gave him 2 minutes. It looks like the scores guy will listen to Coach Rhodes, as I would too if I was him.
Absolutely. After that great performance by those young children, looks like they need to add a few more minutes to let the players warm up.
Yeah. So let's look ahead real quick for Penn. Penn again 8-8, really looking to get above 500, and they have a big matchup against Elkhart Central Thursday night at Northside Gym. Should be a good crowd. Usually Northside Gym always brings out the best crowd in Elkhart. Again, Central, one of the toughest teams in the NIC. Really senior-led. They are a senior-led team. But Riley right now is at the top of the pack in the NIC. But Penn did give Riley a run for their money. They lost 78-69. Again, Noah Applegate coming off his career high. So Penn will travel to Elkhart Central on the February 9th, again Thursday. Then they will go again at Plymouth February 14th. And then Reese, the big matchup against Mishawaka Marion will come February 17th.
Absolutely. It looks like it should be a pretty good matchup on February 9th at Elkhart Central. 2 strong teams, and
yeah. Well,
to see that.
Don't want to interrupt you real quick, but talking about how good Elkhart Central is down 12 to start the fourth quarter to South Bend Clay.
Really?
Clay, a team that got beat by Bremen, a team that Penn beat here at home in one of the first home games.
Absolutely, and in that game at Clay, Matt Box scored his 1,000 point. Only the 3rd player in Bremen history to score 1,000 points.
Well, again, 1,000-point scorer, 0 for 5 from the floor right now. We are getting set with 30 seconds left on the clock. Pet Band plays the Penn Fight song. So key to the second half for both teams, like we talked about, getting Matt Box the ball maybe. I think Penn needs to keep the tempo up. Don't let loose on Bremen. Make a statement win here at home. 2 home games left, 1 home game left after this against Marion. Really need it.
Absolutely. I think one quick analysis for Bremen, I think they need to limit the turnovers and try to stop the transition points for Penn Kingsman.
For Penn will bring out their starters. Bremen will have the ball. And Connor Schneider already in Matt Box's face before the ref even gives the ball to Matt Box to inbound it.
I'm sure Matt Box isn't liking that too much.
Yeah. Well, I think he's used to it, you know, being a 1,000-point scorer there at Bremen. Bremen will again have their starters in there except for their big man. I take that back and what?
There it is, right from the get-go. What did I say, Tyler? Steals, turnovers, lead the offense for the Kingsmen.
So Brian Doslak threw the ball off the Bremen Lion and gets the possession.
Yeah, it looks like Matt Box inbounded that ball, and Brian came around and stole it from him.
Penn runs its inbound play, lob to Matt McCown. Matt McCown has an easy layup on the left side of the basket. 32-14 here to start the third quarter.
Maybe we'll see him get going in the second half. The thing is, that's the first points of the night for him.
Will be attending Bethel College, and Brian Doslak continues his tough defense on Bremen's guard. Burkholder, but Matt Box has the ball, gets it over to Schneider. Schneider has really been their only scorer. You know, had 6 points.
Matt Box for 3.
Matt Box gets it started, 32-17. Noah Applegate has it one-on-one with Matt Box. Maybe they'll try to get him in a little bit of foul trouble. Spins around, picks up his dribble, though, up to Drew Lutz. Drew Lutz gets hit by Burkholder, and we'll have a foul.
Yeah, you can't look down on that play. Just a good hustle play, going for that steal, trying to create a turnover, get back in this game.
Yeah, and that's the key for Bremen. Got to get back in it quick, or else, you know, the time will, you look up and the time will be out. Penn will inbound the ball in front of their student section, sitting down. Matt McCown has the ball. I pass it over right side to Noah Applegate. Noah Applegate puts up a right-handed layup, misses, but is fouled by Matt Box.
Yeah, to me that was a little questionable call. It's like Matt Box went straight up on that.
And that is Matt Box's second foul. Noah Applegate will be going to the line. Again, I know we've talked about it already, but Noah Applegate really had his coming out performance against South Bend Riley, scoring his career high and, you know, looking to keep his first free throw up and good.
Yes, and that is his 5th point for tonight.
Really hasn't gotten anything, but again, been guarded by Bremen's best player, Matt Box. His second free throw is up and good. Burkholder will have the ball for Bremen, dribbling up the left side of the court. Brian Doslak picks him up at half court, gets a screen by Streller. Brian Doslak fights through, has him at the top of the key. Burkholder spins off, fades away, up and off, gets his own rebound, puts it up, gets it, fights for his own rebound. Brian Doslak did not box him out and gets his own rebound, puts it up for 2, 34-19. Brian Doslak dribbles up the court, takes a strong to the left side, puts it up, misses, but gets fouled.
Yeah, another foul for Bremen. Looks like they're not letting any easy points when they get down to the paint. Maybe earning it for the second half at the free throw line.
Yeah, so Penn already at the line for the second time of the night. The ref is talking to one of Bremen's players. And we have 2 shots for senior guard Brian Doslak. Brian is playing in his second to last home game here at the Palace. Really looking to show out. That's his 9th point of the game. His first free throw is up and good.
Speaking of second to last game, that'll be an interesting game. Mishawaka Marion here next week.
Usually always a good crowd. You know, two teams really looking again to still find themselves in the NIC. But Brian's second free throw is up and good. Bremen has the ball dribbling up. Drew Lutz with the 2 fouls early, sat pretty much the first half, is back out there. Brian Doslak is now guarding Burkholder. Burkholder at the top of the key, passes it over to Clockout. Clockout guarded by Drew Lutz again at the top of the key, passes over to Burkholder. Burkholder drives right side at the 3-point line, backs it out. Drew Lutz stays with the pressure on Burkholder. Screen by Matt Box, and they get the switch. This is when they try to take advantage. Drew Lutz is guarding Matt Box. Connor Schneider is guarding Bremen's guard. They can't really find Matt Box. Schneider has the ball up top, passes over to Burkholder, and Penn, good defense, gets back. Burkholder pulls up while defense tries to switch off and misses. Noah Applegate with the rebound, dribble up left side of the court, pass it over to Drew Lutz. Drew Lutz corner, passes into Connor Schneider in the middle of the lane, puts it up off. Matt McCown with the rebound, puts it up off, and we have a rebound by Bremen.
Yeah, it looks like that on the last possession, Bremen missed an opportunity for Matt Box.
Yeah, Bremen has the ball up the court, and we have a carry on Bremen's guard, Clockout, and it'll be Penn basketball. Penn 36, Bremen 19 with 6 minutes left here in the third period.
I think Bremen, again, on their next offensive drive should really try to get that switch and have
Connor Schneider, and I know Rhodes will know, you know, they're going to try to run that screen. They'll tell Connor Schneider to no matter what, stay with Matt Box, I think. Brian Doslak has it one-on-one up top, pass it over to Applegate. Applegate on the right side wing, guarded by Matt Box, drives left side, right past him, puts it up. Good left-handed layup, kind of fading away into Matt Box, though, you know, trying to lean in and get a foul. No, Applegate puts it up for 2, 38-19 now. Penn has a lead. Burkholder dribbles the ball up the court. Again, guarded all night by Brian Doslak. Tough matchup. And we have a foul on Noah Applegate as he tries to intercept the pass from Burkholder to Schneider.
Yeah, I think that was a little unnecessary play. I don't really think I had a chance to steal that ball. But hey, you never know.
You got 5 fouls, so might as well use them. That is Noah Applegate's second foul of the night.
Rhodes isn't too happy with that.
Yeah, you should have either gotten the steal or backed off and played some defense. Matt Box went inbound the ball to Burkholder. Burkholder at the half court. A little half court trap by Penn. Gets into Matt Box. Matt Box has some trouble. Schneider in the corner. Drives baseline. Loses the ball. Connor Schneider gets the rebound. Not a rebound, gets the steal. Noah Applegate turns it over. Schneider for 3 on the other side by Bremen. Misses. Fight for the rebound. Applegate jumps over everybody and gets the rebound into Brian Doslak. Brian Doslak will slow things down. Actually picks it up. Drew Lutz drives baseline now on the right side. Gets it poked away by Burkholder, and it'll stay Penn basketball.
Yeah, it looks like Matt Box a little upset on that play. He was wide open in the corner, and his guard missed him on that.
Yeah, Connor Schneider got the rebound, passed it to Noah Applegate, and Noah Applegate had the turnover. Penn will have the ball on the baseline, little right side. Almost to the corner. Brian Doslak went inbound the ball to Penn is running the play. Connor Schneider ends up wide open on the right block, gets it up and in. 38-40 to 19 now. Penn has a 21-point lead on Bremen, and Penn goes a little bit of pressure, one-on-one pressure, trying to trap it. Matt Box has the ball, gets it over to 34. Codwell gets it into their big men. He is trapped, and Noah Applegate intersects his pass. Applegate has it. Drew Lutz, right side layup, puts it up and in. I really like Drew Lutz's play recently.
Absolutely, looks like he has stepped in and
confidence.
Absolutely confidence, 100%.
It is now 42 to 19 with 4:30 left in the third period. Schneider has it down low on the right block. Penn really, and we have a foul on Penn, but Penn is running their trap defense, it looks like. Really not playing man-to-man, really just chasing the ball around and trying to get another turnover and try to up this lead.
Yeah, as Bremen got a couple of easy baskets in the first early minutes of this first half. Looks like Penn is going back to that trap pressure defense, not sitting back.
Schneider won on the ball on the right side of play, gets it into their big men, 54. Cole George gets it into Schneider. Schneider hits a corner 3. His third 3 of the night, 42-22. We have a score update from South Bend, Washington. It is 45-41 at the end of the third quarter. That's a big game right there. 2 South Bend schools fighting. You know, Washington really has given tough opponents to all Adams and Riley. And
back-to-back buckets for Connor Schneider.
Brian Doslak get that steal and then gets it into Connor Schneider. Schneider wide open down low as Bremen was trying to run their press offense. And we have a timeout by Bremen, 46-22, 3:50 left. You're listening to the Pennant Podcast. I'm Tyler Miller here with Reese Jakowiak. Reese, Penn really upped their defense, right?
Absolutely. They just exploded with their defensive pressure and their offensive capability on this last few possessions here, and we're now up 24 points with 3:50 left in the third quarter. Well, Tyler, what do you think Bremen needs to do to get closer in this game in the last 3 minutes and 50 seconds?
I really don't think there's much they can do. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Penn's defense has really stepped it up the second half. I think, if anything, they need to get it to Schneider. Schneider has right now had 3 threes. When they do that trap, Bremen really needs to see who the wide open. They need to see where the trap is coming from. And usually it's coming from Matt Box. Applegate or Connor Schneider is coming over to trap, so they're leaving Bremen's best player wide open because, again, he hasn't had anything tonight. It's one of those things where they're really looking to press, and Penn comes out of the timeout, and Penn will look their half-court trap again. Connor Schneider is up there. Matt Box taking the ball out of bounds, gets it into Sterling. Sterling is looking to see where the trap is coming. They get it to Matt Box. I think that's a smart choice. A senior leader dribbles up the court. Connor Schneider face guarding him again. Schneider actually over to number 40, Feldman. Feldman back up top to Burkholder. Gets it over to Sterling on the left side, guarded by Drew Lutz, up to Schneider. Schneider is their star player right now. Gets it in. Gets it into Feldman. Feldman passes it to Schneider, gets tipped by Noah Applegate, and it'll be Bremen basketball taken out in front of the scores table.
Yeah, it looks like they really extended that defense again and trying to make some turnovers, some easy buckets.
Schneider windbound the ball, Noah Applegate in his face right here in front of us in the scores table. Bremen will run their play. Gets it in, but gets a little bit of trouble over to Burkholder. Burkholder has it up top over to Schneider. Schneider at the top of the key, left side, Matt Box. Connor Schneider pokes the ball loose for Matt Box. Good hustle, tries to throw it off Matt Box, but it'll be Bremen basketball.
Yeah, looks like once again, there he is, Connor Schneider aggravating Matt Box. Not much he can do right now.
A 6'2" guard/forward Matt Box. Again, we talked about he's a 1,000-point scorer there at Bremen now.
Hasn't really been able to do much tonight.
Burkholder has the ball up top of the key, pass it over to Sterling. Sterling now on the right side, guarded by Bo Ludwig. Stops the dribble. Matt Box has it. Drives right past Connor Schneider. Connor Schneider recovers and gets a block as he tries to put up a layup. Noah Applegate now has the ball. Fights for it. We have a fight for a loose ball. Gets tangled up, but Connor Schneider ends up with it. And Bremen tips it out of bounds as they try to get it into their Bo Ludwig for a layup.
Yeah, great defense on the last possession from Connor Schneider as he lost Matt Box and came back and got the block.
Yep. Brian Dosak will take the ball out on the right side of the court. Into Noah Croftwell. Croftwell up to Bo Ludwig. Bo Ludwig at the top of the key to Noah Applegate. Applegate up top alone, guarded by Matt Box. He tries to get into Connor Schneider. Bremen Schneider tips it away. Connor Schneider gets it though, puts it up. Left-sided layup, gets it. Connor Schneider really coming out this second half. 48-22 with 2:30 left in the third quarter. Bremen really has no answer for Connor Schneider right now on the offensive or defensive end, honestly. Burkholder takes it right side, gets bumped by Brian Dosak as he's going up in the air, and Bremen will be shooting two. Actually, correction, the foul is on Bo Ludwig, his second foul.
Yeah, it looks like Bremen's very flustered on the offensive side, don't know really what to do. Right now, it looks like Kingston are completely control this game.
Burkholder has had some troubles at the free throw line, puts his first free throw up and misses. Drew Lutz checks in for senior guard Brian Doslak. Burkholder have another free throw. It's 48-22 with 2:25 left in the third period. Burkholder's second free throw would be up. And no good again. Connor Schneider with the rebound for Penn. Drew Lutz has the ball now, taking the ball up the court on Burkholder. Burkholder really, after missing the free throws, looks frustrated. Picks up his defense. Drew Schneider loses the ball, gets it up. No Applegate on the left side, crosses over on Schneider, puts it up. Hits the side of the backboard, gets his own rebound though, and Penn will slow things down. Drew Lutz at the top of the key, guarded by Burkholder, one-on-one, drives right side. Jumps out to the free throw line, gets the ball back. And we have a foul on Bremen's Burkholder, really trying to poke the ball loose. And we have a final score from Adams. St. Joe looked to upset Adams, but Adams comes back and wins over St. Joe 52-50. And Mike Green had a game winner, it looks like.
Wow, Mike Green, senior leader on that team, and came through in the clutch.
We'll have to watch the highlights tonight on that. Looks like it was a good game. St. Joe really has something to prove in the NIC after, really strong or really tough start. And back to the action, we have Noah Croftwell just hit a free throw jumper. It is 50-22 with 1:40 left in the third period. Burkholder has the ball for Bremen at the top, dribbles right side over to their big man George. Riley Smith now in for Penn, guarding George. George tries to get it to Sterling, can't find anything, gets it over to Burkholder. Burkholder now has the ball one-on-one with Bo Ludwig. Gets it into George, guarded by Croftwell. Croftwell spins around. George spins around Croftwell and gets up a layup. 50-24 now. Penn has a 26-point lead on the Bremen Lions. Bo Ludwig now has the ball at the top of the key. Noah gets it into Noah Applegate. Noah Applegate puts up a wing jumper off. And Burkholder with a rebound. And we have a foul on Drew Lutz on the rebound.
Well, Applegate missed that wide open jumper. I mean, 9 times out of 10 he's going to knock that down. Bremen needs to know to have a hand up in his face when he gets the ball that close to the rim.
And after missing the jumper, Coach Rhodes will take him out. Drew Schneider checks in for Penn. Penn going really small now. Croftwell, the biggest player, and Riley Smith in there. They're two big men. But Matt Box is not on the floor for Bremen, so really don't know where their scoring is going to come from right now. Schneider takes a deep three for Bremen and hits it. That's where their scoring is going to come from, Reese.
For how bad Bremen has played, I've been really impressed with Schneider.
He has taken about 3 deep threes and 1 normal three, but really Penn's defense hasn't been there for him, really not picking them up when they should. And Burkholder with the good pressure on that Drew Lutz. Drew Lutz gets the ball back, though, guarded by Burkholder still. Up to Bo Ludwig. Bo Ludwig guarded by Bryce Sterling for Bremen. Drives right side, gets fouled as he drives by Burkholder. The foul will be on Bremen. 50-27 with 26 seconds left in the third period. That is Burkholder's 5th foul. He will foul. Their junior guard for Bremen will foul out before the start of the 4th quarter. That's pretty big because he's really trying to pick it up. It looks like to be their point guard has always taken the ball up the court. What does Bremen have to do now?
Well, I think they need to have someone step up and become another leader of this Bremen team.
Matt Box again still not on the floor, but number 30 Schneider is, and he has been their leading scorer so far tonight. Drew Schneider, on the other hand, has the ball up to Drew Lutz. Drew Lutz one-on-one with the replacement. Number 34, Ryan Codwell, guarded him. Drew Lutz goes behind the back. Ref calls a foul on Codwell.
Yeah, I'm not
Bremen's coach unhappy with that.
Yeah, neither am I. I'm kind of not fond of that play at all because I really think Drew Lutz really leaned himself into him there, and the Bremen player just was holding his own ground.
Yeah. Ref has a conversation with Bremen's head coach, Jerry Smith, about the call. Said he bumped him. Bremen gets a steal tries to get a steal on the inbound. Bremen player runs into the scores table. Let the scores table fix their table real quick. And it'll be Penn basketball. Drew Schneider take the ball out in front of the scores table.
Very young lineup in right now for the Kings with 3 sophomore guards.
It looks like some time ran out that shouldn't have. So the officials will fix that. We have a clock issue. When the guy ran in, when the guy ran into the scores table, he didn't have enough time to stop the clock, so a couple seconds ran off. 9.5 seconds left. Drew Lutz dribbles left side, is bodied by Codwell, but they call a carry on Drew Lutz. 5.9 seconds left here in the third period. Bremen will have the ball. Let's see if they can get some momentum in the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, maybe we can see a quick bucket here, and you never know in the 4th quarter, Tyler.
Never know. Always play all 4 quarters. That's the key. Bremen does not look to really be trying to get a shot off. They inbound the ball. No defense by Penn.
Wow.
Penn didn't even pick them up. They inbound the ball all the way by Penn's basket. They dribble up, and really the guy just loses his footing, slips, and doesn't get anything.
If that wasn't a bonehead play move, then I don't know what would be.
Well, I think a problem there is that was the replacement because Burkholder fouled out. That was Ryan Codwell, usually not a starting point guard. He did not start the game after Burkholder fouled out, so maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, maybe. But I think somebody needs to step up. Matt Box needs to step up in this 4th quarter, maybe score a few points, and you never know in the second.
Yeah, and again, the leading scorer for Bremen right now, Chandler Schneider, with 12 points. He is 4 for 6 for 3. Again, Matt Box is held to 3 points this game. Really didn't play towards the end of the third quarter. Looking at Penn real quick, Penn scoring is all around. They have 4 players with 10 points. Connor Schneider, Noah Applegate, Drew Lutz, and Brian Dosak all have 10 points.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty evenly distributed of points for the Penn side, and then on the other side, Bremen, not so much. Pretty much Schneider's been all they have tonight.
Yeah, and on the other hand, Penn Schneider really picked it up that third quarter. Scored about 8 points on that quarter.
Absolutely, and if you didn't see, Matt Box is on the bench for the start of this 4th quarter.
Yeah, he's sitting over here right next to his coach.
Not too strong of a performance.
The rebounding advantage right now is 23-12 Penn. Do you think that's a big key?
Absolutely. I mean,
they've really had some second chance points.
We've always preached rebounds and turnovers.
Start of the 4th quarter, Penn will have the ball. Drew Schneider has it at the top of the key. On the court for Penn is Drew Schneider, Bo Ludwig, Drew Lutz, Noah Kroffel, and Riley Smith.
Very
one starter. Yeah.
Lineup right now.
Riley Smith has it on the baseline, puts it up, drives baseline, gets it in. His 2nd bucket of the game after coming back off the knee injury. Really looking to play here in front of this hometown crowd.
He could be a big impact on Penn's next game at Central.
Yeah. Central very physical, so make it in. Bo Ludwig tries to go for the steal on Sterling. Sterling over to Fording in the corner 3. Missed it. Riley Smith hustles for the rebound, gets the rebound over Penn's big man, Cole George. Not bad. Drew Lutz has the ball up top. Drives past his defender, gets it up to Drew Schneider. Drew Schneider over to Kroffel. Kroffel out the corner. Bo Ludwig up top now, top of the key. Bo Ludwig drives it in, pass over to Riley Smith. Riley Smith, baseline jumper, got it. 2 buckets in a row for Penn's Riley Smith. His 6th point of the game.
Coming off that knee injury is really a confidence booster for him this game.
Real quick for all you Notre Dame fans out there, Notre Dame beat Wake Forest 88-81. Bonzi Colson, 27 points, 16 rebounds.
Wow.
Big win by Notre Dame. Drew Lutz will dribble the ball off the court now. Gets it in, jump stops to Drew Schneider on the left side, drives right side now. Noah Croftwell baseline, up to Drew Schneider. Drew Schneider has the ball at the top. Guarded by Ben's best defender, Schneider. Bo Ludwig has the ball now at the top. Drives baseline, puts up a jumper, got it. Bo Ludwig.
He's looking for that foul too. I think he got shoved on that a little bit.
Drives right past his defender. His defender kind of comes up behind him and bumps him, but gets the bucket. 56-29 now. Looking like a lot like last year.
Yeah, looking very much like last year, actually.
Bremen now has the ball with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter here. Sterling drives, jump stops, misses. George puts up a floater, misses. Bo Ludwig comes away with it. Ludwig drives baseline now. Goes behind the back. Drew Lutz now at the top of the key. Crosses over his defender, puts it up. And we have a foul on the floor on the drive. We have a foul on Bremen. And in for Penn again, like we talked about, Stuart Feely. Played towards the end of the first half. Really, again, a senior player. Really hasn't gotten much PT, but when he's gotten in, he has done some stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, for only his first year playing high school basketball,
exactly.
I think he's not been doing terrible from. I mean, he's been making the most of what he's.
Has not scored any points yet this career. I want you to call it right now. Does he score?
100% he scores.
Okay. We have 5:47 left here. It is 57-29. Penn has a lead. And Risha Koyak just said that Stuart Feely will get his first career high school points tonight.
Absolutely. I'm 100% believer in the kid.
Drew Lutz hits both free throws. It is now 58-29 with 5:38 left. Bremen has the ball. Codwell has it now. Guarded by Drew Lutz. He gets by him. Puts up a right-handed layup, misses. Fight for the rebound. Drew Lutz has it. And we have a foul on Bremen. And it'll be Drew Lutz going to the line for a 1-and-1.
Yeah, looks like from here on out we'll be shooting free throws.
We really saw a strong performance in the first quarter, I think, Reese, from Penn, coming out strong.
Yeah, I really think they came out with a lot of energy. And
Penn,
I think Al Rhodes explained to them that this is a confidence booster for next game. I mean, big matchup against Central next game. I really think that a strong performance here will lead up to the next one.
And Coach Rhodes really getting the young ones in. Right now they have a couple sophomores out there. And now in for Penn
will be Luke Carlton after this next free throw.
Luke Carlton will come in for Drew Lutz if he hits this free throw. Luke Carlton, a JV player that dresses varsity, so has some time. And he will come in for Drew Lutz. Really good sharpshooter. Drew Lutz gets a ovation as he gets out. So now
I think it was a strong performance from Drew Lutz, only being a sophomore. I think he scored 12, 13 points tonight.
Yeah, Penn has no starters out on the floor right now, so it'll be basically, the Penn's second team. And again, Matt Box is not out there for Bremen, so Bremen looks to be playing their second team also. Drew Schneider has the ball, dribbles up on the right side. Yeah. Crosses over, gets it up to Stuart Feely. Stuart Feely at the top of the key. Stuart Feely drives right side. Riley Smith baseline, gets it back up to Stu Feely. Feely one-on-one with his defender, drives past his defender, dunks it over to Drew Schneider. Riley Smith now up to Stuart Feely for three, missed it.
Darn it.
This crowd would have erupted. I know all of his friends in the student section right now really wanted him to score. It's not even that he's not a good basketball player, because he really is. He's a great basketball player. It's that he overcame his back injury from playing tennis for 3 years and now just playing varsity basketball here at Penn.
Yeah, I really think that it would be a magnificent honor if he scored. I mean, coming off of back surgery, one-year player. I mean,
yeah,
not much you can ask for him.
Back to the action real quick. Bremen gets an and one
by a JV player that came in that dresses. I think he is.
I don't know, but anyway, he puts up his free throw and gets it. It is 60-32 now. Drew Schneider has the ball at the top of the key. He is guarded by Codwell. Spins off of him, Drew Schneider, to Stuart Feely. Stuart Feely pump fakes, drives in, and we have a travel on Stu Feely. Yeah. Coach Rhodes not happy with that. I really think Coach Rhodes likes Feely's hustle out there.
Absolutely.
Really getting his back, getting on the ref.
I mean, he may not be the most athletic player out there, but he does give it 100%.
Yeah, he does. And Coach Rhodes has his back, I think. You know, really doesn't like that call and gets in the ref's ear. Again, Penn is up 60-32 with 4 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Bremen hits a 3 by number 32, Dominic Lopez. Should have put him in earlier, maybe gotten some firepower. Pulls up for 3 and hits it. Drew Schneider now has the ball, guarded by Codwell. Stuart Feely has the ball in the corner, gets it to Riley Smith on the left block, on the right block, puts it up, misses, front of the rim. Rebound Bremen. Codwell dribbles the ball up the court for Bremen. One-on-one with Drew Schneider, drives right past him, spins off him, misses it. Lopez at the top, guarded by Feely. Feely gets it. Codwell puts up a 3, misses. Riley Smith with the rebound. Riley Smith, again, a tough rebounder, good defender, and had a couple points tonight.
Absolutely. Looks like he's played great coming off that injury.
Stuart Feely now has the ball in the right corner. Gets it up to Luke Carlton. Luke Carlton now. Up to Drew Schneider. Drew Schneider will run some clock on the left side of the court. Dribbles right side of the court now to Stu Feely. Stu Feely has it in the corner. Gets it up to Luke Carlton. Penn just running some clock here. Is getting rode by the JV player.
Yeah, it looks like they're just trying to waste some clock down. I mean, just being a pretty much blown out game here. I mean, just trying to end it with civilization.
So again, let's, now that we have some time, Luke Carlton's at the free throw line shooting 1-1. So Penn has 5 games left. Central, Plymouth, Marion, Jimtown, Maryville.
And won by our money, big Riley Smith.
As I'm looking at my media notes, we have Riley Smith gets the rebound off the missed free throw, gets it up and one.
Absolutely.
Riley Smith again coming off the knee injury. This is his first game back, really out here hustling. And he'll go to line for his and one.
I mean, so far I've been pretty impressed by him. I mean, maybe he can come up big for these next few games.
And they'll need him. They'll need him for sure.
Absolutely.
If no Applegate or any other big man, Connor Schneider really has gotten in some foul trouble recently. Gardner, can't give enough credit to Connor Schneider. Really did a good job on Matt Box tonight. The score is 63-35 with 2:50 left. Bremen has the ball. Codwell gets it onto Lopez. Stu Feely loses him, and Lopez has an easy layup. 63-37 now with 2:40 left.
Yeah, it looks like he just lost him on that last play.
Yeah. Drew Schneider. Bremen tries to press a little bit, get a trap. Stu passes it into Croftwell. Croftwell up to Schneider. Bremen looking to press again. Feely has it in the wing, gets it into Drew Schneider. Drew Schneider right block, gets it into Riley Smith in the middle of the lane, puts it up, gets blocked, fights for his rebound. Lopez comes down with it for Bremen. Codwell pushes tempo a little bit for Bremen, has it up top. And 50 for Bremen, puts up a 3 and misses. Fights for his rebound, gets his rebound. We have a fight for the ball, we have a jump ball. Feely, good hustle.
Great hustle play, there he is, 100% heart.
63-37 with 2:06 left here in the fourth period. On the court for Penn, we have Carlton, Croftwell, Feely, Smith, and Schneider, Andrew Schneider. Bremen gets the inbound ball, dribbles it off Bremen's own, or inbounds the ball off Bremen's foot, and Riley Smith comes with the ball. I don't think he knew what happened there.
Yeah, it looks like they have 4 first-time varsity players out there right now.
Drew Schneider loses the ball, gets it into Feely. Feely has it to Riley Smith. Drew Schneider now has it at the top. Luke Carlton presses. Penn really looks a little confused. Bremen's trap defense getting to him, but Luke Carlton will bring things up and slow things down. Stu Feely, corner 3. Missed it. Carlton gets his rebound. Carlton with the rebound. Drew Schneider. Drew Schneider now has his ball at the top. Into Stu Feely. Stu Feely corner again, Drew Schneider. Up to Luke Carlton. Luke Carlton will burn some clock with 1:14 left here. Feely gets it into, tips it to Riley Smith. Feely corner 3. Got it!
There it is, what I said, Tyler.
Feely scores his first career points here at Penn High School and gets a standing ovation from his parents. The Penn student section stands to their feet. The Penn bench gets to their feet. And Coach Rhodes, got to be happy with that play as Stuart Feely 4-3, got it.
Absolutely, I love it. Corner 3. What did I say, Tyler?
He did.
He was going to score?
I told you. I was back. I had your back.
Absolutely.
Stuart Feely, they have some fat heads of him in the student section. Scored his first career points tonight. 66-37. 56 seconds left here in the game. Bremen has the ball, dribbles it off, and Penn has the ball now.
Great steal by Feely again. There he is.
Yep. Let's see if we can get him another one. Luke Carlton will have the ball. Bremen still in that little press defense. 30 seconds left now, 66-37. Gets into Stewart. Feely over to Croftwell up top to Schneider. And Penn will run the clock out. Feely over to Luke Carlton, over to Schneider. Bremen really not pressing anymore, really just letting it go. Feely up to Luke Carlton. All right, so Reese, again, back to what happened. Central on Thursday night will look to pull the upset as Penn Kingsman, as the clock runs out and the crowd stands to their feet. Penn Kingsman are now 9-8 overall, 6-3 in the NIC. Bremen falls to 7-11 and 2-7 in the NIC. Both teams shake hands. What was the main performance tonight that you were happy with?
Connor Schneider, 100%. He held Matt Box under double digits. I think only 3 points tonight. I mean, heck of a job by him as he comes off the strong performance on defense. I think he really needs to step it up for next game as well. Not only that, I also think Ryan Dozlak had a strong game, and he looks to continue that and lead his team.
All right, so we get our final stats of the night. I think the stat of the night is Matt Box. 3 points, 1 for 7, 1 for 2 for 3. Bremen's leading scorer, Chandler Snyder, had 14 points on 5 for 10 shooting. Really, they didn't have anybody else in double digits. They really no offense, couldn't get anything going. And when you have no offense, it's really hard to play some defense. Now let's look at Penn stats real quick. Leading scorer for Penn, Drew Lutz with 14 points, 4 for 5 shooting, but main key for him is 4 for 4 for free throws. Brian Doslak adds 10 for Penn. Noah Applegate adds 10 for Penn. Connor Schneider adds 10 for Penn and has had a good defensive performance on Matt Box. Riley Smith never starts. One of those things. Doesn't start a lot, but had 9 points tonight, 4 for 6 from the field, 1 for 1 for free throws. And the stat we all love, Stuart Feely, 3 points, 1 for 3.
Absolutely, I gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
I mean, not only about Stuart Feely or Connor Schneider, Drew Lutz, Brian Doslak all having strong games. I was really impressed with Riley Smith coming off the knee injury. I mean, he really stepped it up, scored 9 points.
And we have an update from the Central game. The Elkhart Central Blue Blazers come back strong in the fourth quarter, hits 2 free throws with 0.1 seconds left, and the Blazers win 71-70 over South Bend Clay.
Well, they escaped the scare in that one.
They did,
Tyler?
And that's one of those things. So Penn now has the momentum after winning 66-37. Elkhart Central winning by 1 against Clay, and them two will meet
absolutely
Thursday night at Northside Gym. Penn could go in there. They're 9-8 right now. They could go to 10-8. They could go to 7-3 in the NIC. They really don't have a chance to win the NIC. They really don't have a chance to win IC because Riley, again, we have an updated score from Riley. Riley does beat Washington, comes back, really pulls away a little bit, beat them by double digits. So let's take a look before we head off the Northern Indiana Conference. South Bend Riley won tonight, so that improves their record to 9-0. South Bend Adams escapes a scare from St. Joe, so they improved to 7-1. Elkhart Central wins against Clay, so they're 8-2. And Penn improves to 6-3. So this game Thursday night will include Elkhart Central, who is right now 3rd in the NIC, and Penn, who is 4th. And they could tie, and actually Penn is tied for 4th with Mishawaka Marion, and they meet next Friday. But back to the Central game. So Central Thursday night at Northside Gym. Penn's playing for that second place.
Absolutely.
Or third place. Elkhart Central's looking. They may finish second. Yeah, it's one of those things where. The NIC is really led by South Bend Riley. South Bend Riley been 15-0 overall.
I really think that Penn really has a chance going into this game with them coming off a strong performance tonight and Central escaping a scare. I mean, I really think the momentum's obviously with the Kingsmen and going into their gym. That'll obviously be tough with always a big crowd there. But, I really think Penn has a chance to win this game.
Yeah. Great game tonight. Really not much action by Bremen. Bremen really didn't put up a fight. But Penn final score 66-37. You've been listening to the Pennant podcast. I'm Tyler Miller. Reese Koyak. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.